John Livier here, your host for Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding and Serious and Silliness Outcast. Great news. We have a brand new sponsor, Ideal Weight and Aesthetics. This place is a one-stop shop for weight loss, rejuvenation, energy, and anti-aging. This is a brand new startup company located at 160 Lanza Avenue, Garfield, New Jersey. Their number is 732-436-1924. You could also email them ideal@idealweightandaesthetics.com. This is basically what they do. They have a clinician look over all your blood work and they recommend what you should and should not do. They do weight loss, semaglutide and tirzepatide. They offer the NAD injections or drip, which is a brand new technology that everybody is jumping on. IV infusion, testosterone replacement therapy, and peptides, microneedling, and skin therapy. You guys know that I love to support small business. So really, give them a call, reach out. You'll feel better. It'll make you look better, and you'll be twice the person. You won't be disappointed. Take my word for it. Ideal Weight and Aesthetics. Evolve Nutrition, 110 Route 10, East Hanover, New Jersey. Evolve Nutrition, EHNJ.shop, 973-647-4625. Evolve Nutrition has all your favorite supplements and vitamins, health and wellness products, fresh meals, protein snacks, gym apparel, and accessories. They will ship to all 50 states. If you don't see a product that you want on their website, just give them a call, 973-647-4625, or message them on Instagram. Tell them what you want. They will order for you, and they will ship it to you to any state in the country. But the best part is 20% off with this discount code SS20. Or when you call them, just tell them to show the commercial on Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding. Evolve Nutrition, 110 Route 10, East Hanover, New Jersey. The website, www.evolvenutritionehnj.shop, 973-647-4625. And don't forget the discount code SS20 for 20% off your favorite products. All right, Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding. We have a true champion, Chris Massaro, winning the heavyweight division at the USA and jumping right into Tampa. What's up, Big Chris?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me on.
No problem, man. I hope you don't mind. I am going to be doing this interview feeling no pain.
As I'm drinking some plain water, what I got left of my
Yeah.
water for
Like
the
I
rest of
couldn't
the
piss you off enough, right?
day.
How you feeling? I know you're doing Tampa. How you feeling? Because I mean, I've competed, but not at your level, obviously. But how does it feel? I mean, do you feel the excitement yet, or are you still under the barrier of no carbs, no water, blah blah blah?
So, I'll give you the two different feelings. So the feeling mentally, right? Super excited. This is like a dream come true, right? I lived here nearby in Sarasota for like 15 years, so I got a lot
Really?
of family here, a lot of friends. My sponsor is still supplements. They're right down in Sarasota, so I'll be able to, be able to see the owner, Jason Hahn, and his younger brother, a great friend of mine, Paul, at the show. They got a booth, so like, there's a lot of great things about being able to compete in Tampa. But yeah, it's hit me. I'm really enjoying the whole week, having a lot of fun. I got the invite to come down from Mr. Olympia Derek Lunsford, so he actually covered my flight as kind of like a
Really?
yeah. It was actually supposed to go to the overall winner of the USA's, and it got turned down because the guy had to travel really far to Hawaii and stuff. So I said, I'll take it. So Derek offered it to me, and then I took him up on the offer. He just covered my plane fare, and he's been letting me work out at his gym that's not open yet.
All right,
So
let me say this.
yeah, we're
Chris
talking a lot.
Lunsford
Yeah,
Chris Lunsford does not get enough credit as a human being.
Derek Lunsford. Derek, yeah,
Jesus Christ, that's
yeah.
you. You, Chris. Derek, that's the fucking me feeling no pain. Derek Lunsford does not get enough credit as a human being. Okay. He doesn't get enough credit as a bodybuilder, as far as I'm concerned. Um, the guy gets tremendous amount of hate, and I don't understand why. From what I understand, he has a great he's a great family man, Christian values. And when he does something like that for somebody like yourself, that means a lot, especially that you are in the U.S. military.
Yes.
Accurate?
Yep. Yep.
You are a paratrooper in the U.S. military, right?
Yep. Paratrooper with the 11th Airborne up in Alaska.
First of all, thank you very much. If it wasn't for guys like you, I wouldn't be able to be an idiot on the microphone.
Thank you very much.
So thank you for your service. Truly, I'm a huge American patriot. So anybody who gives their life to the military, the American military, I am admire and honor.
Best job ever had. So,
That's great to hear. But Derek Lunsford does not get enough. He doesn't get enough props as a human being and as a bodybuilder, as far as I'm concerned.
yeah,
That being said, uh, that's fantastic that he did that for you. It truly
very
is.
nice. He's a really down to earth person. We spoke for a while on the phone. I might as well get a shout out to one of my longtime friends and clients, Mike Caragiulo out of Tampa, because he was actually able to get my number over to Derek, and then Derek called me.
Mhm.
So it was pretty cool the way it all happened. So a lot of good people doing nice things for each other, and spoke to Derek on the phone for a while. And I actually got engaged after the USA's too. I proposed, and she said yes. And
Really good.
Derek saw
That's
that online, and
fantastic.
yeah, he
You
congratulated me and everything. So
you're on cloud nine right
yeah,
now.
it's been best weekend and week of my life for sure. But
Congratulations, brother. It really
thank
could.
you.
From what I understand, from what people tell me, I was talking to one of the guys last night on the show. His name is James Holmesy. He owns Evolve Nutrition. He was saying great things about you. So
Thank you.
from what I understand, it can't happen to a better guy. So I'm glad all these good things have happened to you.
Very nice. Thank you. But yeah, I can't say enough nice things about Derek. He's just been great. We spoke for a while at his gym as well, which kind of, I got to be honest, like rolled out the red carpet for me. His gym, it's not open yet, and being able to train there without any distractions or anything. It's got a ton of great new tech equipment. It's beautiful facility.
Mhm.
So just overall, it's been a great experience. So.
So bring me through your bodybuilding life and competitive career and how you got to the USA's and now Tampa.
So when it comes to bodybuilding, I mean, I started lifting as a kid. I was like 12 years old and just trying to get in shape for wrestling, right? I was a little pipsqueak, and my pop took me to the gym, and then I like ran there every day to work out. And I spent like the entire day there reading all the Flex magazines and muscular development. And I met some bodybuilders there, which I thought were huge, but looking back, that guy was about 140 pounds, but shredded. So I was like, this guy's huge, right?
Yeah, of course.
And I never really stopped lifting, but then when I was around 17 or so, I I had already moved to Florida and I had met Jason Huh and Paul Huh. Paul Huh went to school with me. And Paul showed me a picture of Jason. I was like, oh my God, I've never seen someone like this big before.
Right.
And then I went to one of his client shows who was like a teen, or it was a show where there was teen division. I was like, I think I could beat these guys. So I started getting ready to compete a year later, and I went and won my first show, won teen division. And then shortly after that, in 2010, that's the year I graduated. I went to Vegas to watch Jason win the USA's overall. So yeah, I been in the gym ever since. I took a hiatus for like 5 or 6 years
Hmm.
to I was bigger. I was like 265, 270, and then
Damn.
I had to lose a bunch of weight to join the military to be able to run faster and everything. And then over the past few years, which we can get into all that if you'd like, I had to take the journey of building myself back up to be able to be a heavyweight and super heavyweight bodybuilder again. So
So now, how old are you now?
I'm 32.
32. Okay. Now, some people would say that's old for turning pro in the open class
Yeah.
because, and now I'm not saying it as an insult. I think we are going to see older bodybuilders. Uh, when you were in the USA and you won the heavyweight division, did you notice that? Were the other winners over 30 as well?
I don't know how old Chris is, and I don't know how old the other
Chris
guys is.
Knox.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel young, and I don't really care to notice people's age and everything. But I'll say this. I competed at the national level a few times before, 2017, 2018, and I'm glad that I went pro now at my age because I definitely feel like I'm ready to have the full responsibility of being a professional bodybuilder with
Right.
the diet and the lifestyle and everything. I have the right woman in my life, which is very important.
That is very
Um,
important.
yeah, I've had bad relationships in the past, like just nothing would have been right. So God's got a plan, and this was it. And I'm happy that it happened this way. And I feel better now at 32 than I did at 25. So
Yeah. No, having the right woman in your corner is 100% could take you to the top.
100%.
Because if she's not on your game plan, and then on the opposite end of the spectrum, if you have a terrible woman, she could destroy you.
I've been there.
And
Been
yeah, yeah, we've all been
yeah.
there. And if you ever get a chance to talk to Sergio Oliva Jr. and John De La Rosa, you'll actually be competing against John De La Rosa. They've had that experience with terrible women, and
Hmm.
now they have really great women in their corner.
It's
And
like
ever
granddad.
since they've had good women in their corner, their careers skyrocketed.
100%. I mean,
Really.
the way that my fiance Andrea, she helps me with the cooking, the cleaning, the logistics of the travel, and entertaining my family when they're coming to watch me compete, and handling all the questions on the side, like is Chris okay? Does he look tired? Like it's all these little things. Not to mention, she's an accountant, so she helps me with the back end of my business and running my coaching business. So it's we really she really helps me where I fall short, and then vice versa. So it's perfect. And she's not a competitor, so she's normal.
Oh yeah, that's even better. Yeah, 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 yeah. No, so all the admiration and honor to your soon-to-be wife as well,
Thank you.
because you know that expression, every great man is behind a great man is a great woman. So they could no be they couldn't have been a statement that true ever more than that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you win the USA's, you win the heavyweight, and I believe in the USA's now. The winner of every weight category wins their pro card. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Or one and two, or
No,
just
it's just first place at the
just
USA's.
first place. It used to be just the overall got the, and now they've changed it to, which I think it's better off, honestly. Some people may argue they give out too many pro cards, but the truth of the matter is, as far as I'm concerned, the cream rises to the top. Okay, so if you slip through the cracks, let's say, um, you're gonna get hit with a dose of reality once you're on that stage.
And
But in
also,
your,
I
good,
was just going to say, like, there's some of these guys who might be a middleweight or light heavyweight, they might be perfect for like 212 as well,
exactly,
but
yeah,
they just may not have the size to beat that super heavyweight.
yeah.
Doesn't mean that they shouldn't be a professional.
Yeah, but and time will tell too. I mean, the perfect example is Sean Clarita.
Oh yeah, guy's a monster.
I think he won as a bantamweight or a lightweight,
Hmm.
and he's been two-time 212 Mr. Olympia. So
Dexter Jackson, I think won
that's another guy.
very
Yes,
light.
absolutely 100%. So have you gotten to see any of the guys you begin competing against?
In person or online?
No, 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 in person.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I haven't seen him, peeled off and everything, but
Okay.
I got to check in today, got to see a lot of the guys, yeah.
So Derek Lunsford has been great to you.
Mhm.
And how has the guys that you'll be competing against, how have they treated you? Because
Honestly, I
you're the
think,
newbie on the block.
yeah, honestly, it's been great. Everyone's been really nice, really welcoming. A lot of congratulations. I think that's something that's cool about the USA's and the nationals, and something that's special about bodybuilding is that we can really only go pro in a few places,
Right.
So most people are paying attention to like who's coming up. And I think they did a little bit better job back in the day when they had the magazines because like MD would go kind of show you who's coming up and everything. But regardless, because of social media, people have been really, really welcoming. It's been awesome.
Hmm. Now, when you turned pro at the USA's backstage, I know you won the heavyweight. Who was a guy backstage that was impressive that you're like, okay, we have to keep an eye on this guy because this guy's going to be good in the future? Who was that guy?
So I, I'll go through a list a little bit, right?
Okay.
So well, obviously the guy who won the overall, Chris Knox, he had a great physique, great shape and everything. I think if he brings his conditioning in A1, he's gonna be very competitive.
Okay.
The guy who was a runner up to him, taller guy, because Chris, I think, is around my height, 5'7", 5'8".
Okay.
The guy who was the runner up, great condition, great guy as well. He's actually an ex-infantryman as well. So we talk quite a bit. His name's Pete. I'm really bad with remembering a lot of names, but his name's Pete. Big guy. I think he's going to be good in the future for sure. He's trained by Branch Warren. He had a great package coming in.
Hmm.
The guy who won light heavyweight, Parker, I believe is his name. Great conditioning, great shape. I think if he keeps expanding, people are telling him to go into classic, and I'm not about that. You're a
Yeah.
bodybuilder, stay a
I'm not a
bodybuilder
big
for
classic
everybody.
guy either. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he looks great. I think especially if he puts on like if he was like my weight, like 220s or 230s, he'll look like a monster with his
Okay.
shape, with his structure. And there's two other light heavyweights. I can't remember their names. Both guys are black guys, and they had just beautiful physiques. Both of them really nice guys. And I was like, man, those guys look fantastic, you know.
Right.
Um, and yeah, those were a few guys that really stood out for sure.
Okay. You have this old school, hardcore, grainy look to you that I think a lot of bodybuilding fans admire. I certainly do. Last night, when I was recording Muscle Talk, and it was me, Jason Arns, Luke Mon, forget his last name, Lee Priest, Jay Holmesley. We're all bodybuilders. Obviously, Lee Priest and Jason Arns are retired legends. They even said that. They even said your back shots and your hamstrings and glutes, it reminds them of old school, hardcore, grainy, heavy lifting training.
Yeah.
Is that what you did to attain that physique? Or was it different? Was it more modern? Modern today is more time under tension, so on and so forth.
I will tell you that yes, I grew up training very, very heavy. I was squatting over 700 pounds when I was in my early 20s. Um, and that was under the guidance of Jason Hu's father, Juan Hu, who trains like a crazy person. And
Mm-hmm.
he would train me heavy like that, like every 5 days, no matter what. I would have anxiety the night before training legs with him. Legit. And that was definitely the base was hard, heavy training. However, um, when I started working under Jason, yes, we trained heavy because Jason was also repping 700 pounds, big guy, and he had 36-inch thighs, big guy. But we did do a lot of reps in the stretch position. People used to call them HUD reps and everything, quarter reps, whatever. But now they're seeing that that actually works, and that's the way Ronnie trained. So when Ronnie wasn't squatting 800 pounds, you saw him doing a lot of like constant tension stuff. So I guess what I'm getting at is I really do everything. I have had some hip injuries that as a paratrooper, I had a bad landing, parachute malfunction, and I hurt my hips, and it just kept getting worse. So I don't have any cartilage in my hips anymore. So training super heavy anymore, I have backed off. But my base was still training with very heavy like that when it comes to legs. Now I'll do like 3, 4, 5 sets of like 405 for 20 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do lots of reps like that. So still pretty heavy. Um, but yeah, like I said, I do a mix of anything of everything. I'll train like really heavy and then I'll do back off on weight and then do like a lot of reps after that. So I'm always doing a couple meat and potatoes like heavy sets.
Okay. So you said you're between 5'7" and 5'8". I'm about the same height.
Yeah.
And how much were you on stage at the USA?
Want to know the truth?
Yeah.
I think I was between 218 and a half and 220, somewhere in there.
Wow. Okay. Now, how much are you going to be in Tampa?
I'd say between 225 and 227.
Okay. You think that's going to serve you well? It's how long has it been? 2 weeks?
Been a week. We really cut hard to make weight into 225, and we played it a little bit safe. So I was hard, but I definitely wasn't as full as I could have been.
Right.
I walk around naturally between 235 and 240, very lean. Like 10 days out from the show, I was 238. Um,
Wow. Okay.
yeah, so like that's what's comfortable for me. So we really sucked down for that, and it was great. I had a great look, but for sure we already have far surpassed my look on stage already, and we're just a few days out.
Okay.
And my weight's right around there, right around 225 right now.
Okay. So now I commend you and also uh Lee Priest, we did the show last night, commended you for going from the USA's right into a pro show. Very admirable. A lot of people like to take time off and be like, I want to put some size on. I want to, work on my weak spots or whatever the case may be. So great. I commend you, and the great Lee Priest commends you jumping right into a pro show. That being said, you have your work cut out for you.
Sure, it's a deep lineup for
Yeah,
sure.
you ain't kidding. Now, did you know, was this part of the plan? Were you like, if I win, I'm just going to do the Tampa because it's the next pro show?
It was in the back of my mind. I didn't want to count my chickens before they hatch. In the military, we call it 50-meter target, hit my close target first. But it was there, it was in the back of my mind, and I brought it up to Dom. I work with Dom Cardone. And
Really? Okay.
yeah, yeah, I've been working with Dom since 2017, long time. And we even competed together in 2012 team nationals. He was heavyweight, I was light heavyweight.
Okay.
But yeah, so we brought it up, but then it was kind of like took it in, processed that, back to work. Let's win the show. And then he said, when we heard it was between the shows, they talked about Derek Lunsford and the offer about flying me out. And I want to say something. That was not the NPC. That was completely just Derek. And he says that he talked to his wife and he said, I just want to give something back. And he did. It was completely separate. He just wanted to do something because that's what he did. He won and he went to Tampa Pro as a 212.
Yeah.
So he's like, I want to make this offer. So he did. And it was talked about. I'm not gonna lie, we were pretty confident going into the night show that I was gonna win overall.
Mm.
I was confident all the way up until they said Chris, and then the last name wasn't the right one. So I walked a
Yeah.
little bit, I was like, oh shit. But yeah, he's like, would you do it if they offer you? I'm like, well, what do you think? Do you think I'm good? What do you? Because I barely looked at myself, and I talked to Joey Belt. He's my posing coach, and I was like, what do you think? And they're like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's go. And I was like, all
Yeah,
right.
I mean, at the worst case scenario, you get your foot wet, you get your feet wet in in a IFBB pro show, and you see the guys that are, really, because you got really good pros
For
coming
sure.
into this show,
Absolutely.
and you have not only do you have some new blood coming into this show, like guys like Jordan and Justin and Quentin, but you have guys like John Jewett and John De La Rosa that have been around a while. You got veterans that
Mhm.
you could see and you could pick their brains and learn a lot from,
100%.
especially De La Rosa. I don't know John Jewett um, personally, but De La Rosa I know.
I've
Uh,
talked to John a bit. He's a really nice guy too.
See, I know with De La Rosa you could pick his brain and talk to him
Mhm.
and so on and so forth. I'm sure John Jewett is the same way. So I commend you for doing that. Truly, truly commend you because most of the time, guys that turn pro go, I want to really put a package together so I could, possibly win the show. But your conditioning is going to be on par with I've looked at you on Instagram. Your conditioning is probably on par with Jordan Hutchinson. Now,
I mean,
now that being said, first of all, that's a compliment. Secondly, Jordan is has been pro for a number of years, 2 or 3
large
years
guy.
now. Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's very big and whatnot. But at the very least, um, you'll get the experience and you'll get to talk
Mhm.
to these guys and you'll get to see what kind of things you have to work on in the future. What a lot of these young guys that turn pro don't understand is jumping into a show is a tremendous learning experience.
Mhm. Yeah.
And now listen, I've never turned pro, but I've been around bodybuilding my entire life. And just because you go into a show knowing that the competition is going to be insane doesn't mean that you're not going to take anything home with you from that experience. The experience and the knowledge that you're going to get from the show is probably going to be, next to none because now you're in there with, top notch, top elite bodybuilders that you could really pick their brain and
Absolutely.
really see what the judges are looking for at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, what has this week been like? Has it been because you went from Hell Week last week, and I'm assuming you had at least one meal or one day
Sure. Yeah.
to recoup a little bit, and then right back to Hell Week.
So I don't want to sound bad, but like wasn't really that bad for me. It doesn't
Yeah.
it doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Listen, after spending nights in my sleeping bag when it's -20 outside in Alaska as a paratrooper,
This is
doing
nothing.
doing cardio in the AC is not that bad.
Right.
Not drinking water for a little while. I can't tell you how many times we've done uh like an operation up there and you go to drink your water and it's completely frozen and you're just like, well, I guess I'm not going to drink right now. It's so like, not drinking water for a little bit. I go out and I flex. I'm not in a fight. It's really not that bad. I hate to say it and I hate to burst people's bubbles who tell me they got prep brain and it's this bad. It's not that bad. So I would definitely wouldn't call it Hell Week. I had my friends there. I had my fiance there. I had Dom there. Dom made it so much easier and I had Andrea help me. So it definitely wasn't Hell Week. But after the show, we had our meal that night. We probably ordered everything on the menu at a very nice steakhouse. The next day, I had my sushi and a burger, and then I was back on plan.
Yeah.
Because it was like that day where I think it was that day, or no, it was Monday actually, when I already decided to get back on plan just in case we did Tampa anyway. And then that's the day I got the call from Derek. Yeah, I was excited. I don't mind being on diet. I've been on diet all year. It doesn't really bother me. And that's what I mean about the maturity thing about not going pro younger. Now I don't care. I'll eat chicken and rice all year. I like it. It's
Yeah.
fun.
You're mentally capable. Right, 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 right.
Not a problem.
I fully get it. I understand. Now, Dom Cardona's from Brooklyn,
Hmm.
and so am I originally. I live in Jersey now, but
My
originally
mother too. She's from Borough Park.
I was. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was from Bensonhurst. So, all right.
Okay.
Before we get to Dom, you have an Italian last name. Are you full-blooded Italian?
I got a little bit of Polish in me, but I'm mostly Italian. Yeah.
I knew I liked you right off the bat. I knew I liked you.
Yeah, I'm Sicilian
Where'd you
and
grow up?
Napolitano. I grew up upstate New York originally before I moved to Florida.
Okay, so you're Sicilian Albidon. I'm Sicilian Galabrese, actually.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I knew it. Okay, how did you hook up with Dom?
Um, It's been a long time. I just saw the people who's bringing the shows, and the one thing that he always does is he brings people in great condition. And he was getting a lot of pro cards, and I was working with Jason originally for my first couple shows, and then I was like learning to coach myself. He was teaching me a lot of stuff.
Mm.
And then I worked with Dave Palumbo for like 3 weeks at one point before a show because I prepped myself, and then I just had a little help peaking. Um, but that's really it. I pretty much worked with Dom the majority of my career
Well,
because
it's
like
working. That's
I love the good conditioning. So
okay. All right, take me through your military experience because the guys last night were telling me that you are stationed in Alaska. Is that accurate?
yes, in Anchorage.
Now, how I don't know much about Alaska.
Hmm.
I just know that's a difficult place to live because of the weather, the crazy daylight, long days, and then there are all the parts where it's all
Very extreme.
evenings. So take me through it and let me know. I can only imagine that training is like a stabilization mentality for you. It probably gets you through those long days. Uh,
Yeah.
and it's got to be 10 times that for you as it is for me, right? I come home from work. I'm a sewer worker. It's very cold in the winter times. It's very hot in the summer. I go to the gym and that's my mental medicine, if you will.
100%.
Is that the same way? Is it with you? But I'm assuming it's even worse.
Yeah, 100%. Before we move on, I will say that for this prep and for some time before it, because of my hip injury, they wanted me to get a hip replacement and all that stuff. I said no thanks, and
Hmm.
they gave me an office job, which is amazing.
Well, that's
So
good.
and my command has been very supportive, and they've let me do my PT on my own and stuff. I mean, they really weren't worried about me not being in shape, so they let me do my own PT. But yeah, like when I was actively on the line, having to do the jumps and go on the field and all that kind of stuff, there's nothing I could really do about when you're in the field for a few weeks at a time and all that, and you're in the elements. You just pack whatever extra food you can. You're not lifting. You're just on your feet a lot.
Mm.
But even a regular day as an infantryman, I mean, like most of our days are 12 hours long. We get to work at before 6 in the morning, and you're not home till after 6 p.m. at night or later. Sometimes could be after midnight. You never know. It's always a different day. So, and on those long days, I didn't skip the gym. I just texted Andrea. I said, all right, like I'll be home at this time. And she would have my pre-workout ready or my pre-workout meal, like get it all timed out and everything, spread my meals accordingly and get to the gym because that was like my stability. That was my mental stability. It was my favorite part of the day. I get to maybe see my friends at the gym who are not in the army if I went off base, to kind of unarm me for a little bit.
Right.
Not that I don't love my brothers in the army, but like it's good to unarm me a little bit at the end of the
Of
day,
course. Of
you
course.
know? Um, yeah, that was super important for my mental and for just anybody in the military, if they're going to be away from home or whatever it is, it's pretty mentally grueling of a job. But in Alaska, like I'm 4 hours behind my family on the East Coast. In the wintertime, the sun comes up at 11 and is down by 3.
Hmm.
Or in the summertime, it never goes down. So it's like you wake up at 3 in the morning, you're like, oh my God, I'm late for work because the sun's up. It's like you're having a panic attack if you forget to shut your shades.
That I don't know
Um,
how you guys do it, man, but that is rough. That's why I admire
Blackout
you.
shades and sleeping pills.
Wow, I admire you guys. How long have you been stationed in Alaska?
2.5 years. We do
Oh,
3 years at a time per station.
okay, so now when you're done with Tampa, do you have to go back to Alaska?
I got to go to North Carolina first. We got a wedding, um, and then back to Alaska. Yes,
Okay.
only get so much leave.
How is it? I could understand visiting Alaska. I understand it's beautiful.
Sure.
I understand the sights are beautiful. The hunting is beautiful. Yeah, I had friends that went up there and hunted. I think it was caribou, if I'm not mistaken.
We got caribou, moose, grizzly
Yeah.
bears, black bears, everything. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. And um, how is it living there? Are you comfortable there, or would you rather come back down to the mainland of the
So
United States?
I will say Anchorage is a regular city. I grew up in a really small town upstate New York, like 400 or 500 people. So
Okay.
it's like the size of like Albany, if you go
Okay.
upstate, something like that. Yeah, it's a regular city. We got most of the regular amenities. Pretty expensive living up there because everything has to be shipped in. Uh, yeah, there's just hard things. It's extreme. If you order something online, it might take 3 weeks to get there,
Ooh,
so you got to think ahead.
right.
Um, I will say I'm probably not going to stay there very long once my time is up in the military. Come
Hmm.
down to 48. Um, but we got the most out of it. I'm a big skier. Been skiing since I was 2 years old, so I ski. I taught Andrea how to ski. Did a lot of snowboarding too. Did a lot of hiking. So yeah, we did all the Alaska things. Definitely plan on doing some fishing and hunting before I leave as well. Just get the most out of it.
Hmm.
But you know, we don't have any kids yet. We do want to have kids and everything, but we're fine with trying a new place. So we're looking at different places right now.
So now she's in Alaska with you. Well, I know she's in Tampa with you, but obviously she's with you in
Yes,
Alaska.
I dragged her up to Alaska. Yeah, and she'd never seen snow before she got there.
That's how you know you got the right one, man. When she's like, "I'll go wherever you want me to go."
Yeah, we were just dating when we just started like being exclusive and dating when I got the word that I got voluntold to go to Alaska. And she's like, "You're not going to ask me?" I was like, "You're going to leave your job and come to Alaska?" She's like, "Yeah, why not?" And I was like, "All right, let's go." So we got in the car and we drove 3 weeks up to Alaska, and made a vacation. But it was tough for her. So if you ever want to thank anybody for the service, thank their wives because it was much tougher for her than it was for me. I got to be with my friends every day. She didn't know anybody. She never saw
Right.
snow.
Right. 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 Right.
She got off the plane. I was in the field. So then she didn't even get to see me. I was in the field for like 3 weeks at the time. And then we got like 4 feet of snow the next day. And I wasn't home for longer than like a week or two for like the entire year, the first year that we were there. So, she
You
had a
you
tough
don't
go
you
first.
don't know how happy that makes me that somebody like yourself found a good woman because it is becoming increasingly difficult to find a good woman. And I've heard horror stories about guys in the military, and I've
Oh yeah.
seen the horror stories at my own job, at my own work. I mean, guys just getting left, divorced, have
Any
to.
kind of like blue collar construction type job. Like my
Yes.
dad worked in the city for a long time, and everything. And it's very similar to the military.
Yeah. So I'm it really when I see a when I and I mean this like thoroughly. When I see a good woman that sticks by her husband, I have the utmost respect for that woman.
Yeah,
And at
I
the
feel the same
same
way.
time, when I see a woman that is not faithful or is bad mouths her husband or insults her, and we've all seen it,
Sure.
I can't, I despise that kind
It's
of thing.
gross. Yeah.
It really is. So I'm very happy you found yourself a good woman. Very happy. Now, Tampa this week, Texas next week.
No, I won't be able to make Texas yet. Just Tampa. We're gonna try to make a statement this week, get in some people's mouths and stuff. And I want to stop and say this really quick too.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm gonna do the politically correct thing and say I'm very excited. I'm dipping my feet in the water and everything. I'm excited to meet a bunch of these pros that I've only seen online. But at the same time, I'm coming to compete. So I want this to be publicly known. I'm bringing a great package. I want to be seen. Even if I'm not going for first, I'm going to bring my best physique.
Right.
I'm going there to compete and be judged.
So you
And
you're going there with the mindset where I'm bringing the best package, and even if you beat me, it's not going to be easy.
it's not going to be easy, and you're going to remember who I am for next time.
There
So.
you go. That's it. Okay. That's
And
going to be the
that's
title of
all I
this
want to say
video.
about that. But
Good.
no, I'm not going to go to Texas. I got to go to a wedding after that. So
Okay. So then what's your plan after that? Is it going to be trying to put size on, working on certain body parts that you need to bring up? What's going to be the plan after that?
100%, yeah. Talk to the judges and stuff, kind of bring up a few things. And I got a mirror too. I know what I got to bring up, and um, yeah, so take some time. We made a lot of progress since January. I just had hernia surgery in January this year. So like I really um, had been pushing pretty hard since the beginning of February. So, a lot of progress was made in just these past like 5 or 6 months. So
Okay.
if we can keep this momentum and stay healthy and everything, that's what I love about Dom. We both very much take health into consideration. We do all our blood work. I've got a great physician who takes care of me and everything too. So let's get our health, perfect. It's been perfect leading all the way up to the show.
Hmm.
And let's focus on putting some real thick size on.
Okay. Now, what is the plan? What show do you think you're going to jump into next year? Or you haven't even thought about that yet?
I haven't really thought about it yet. I don't want to. I'm not going to disappear. So I'll tell you that much. I
All
plan
right.
on competing. I plan on staying relevant.
Okay.
I think that wherever this lands me, if you give me another 6 to 8 months of hard training and eating and everything, I could put some real good size on. I grow very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. I could definitely see that. When we were looking at the progress pics on your Instagram last night, we could definitely see that. We were basically saying, and I'm not an authority. I'm just a goofball with a microphone that loves bodybuilding and have competed in the NPC several times. But you're talking about guys like Lee Priest and Jason Owens that have said, give this guy another year or two and he's going to be dangerous. And that was basically their words,
Yeah. Well,
you
I
know?
appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you're done with Tampa, I would like to get you on Muscle Talk with the rest of those guys.
I would love to. Yeah.
All right, good, good, good. I'm glad
I've only
because
watched like every one of Lee Priest's videos since I was a kid. He was like a monster in like the 90s and early
Oh,
2000s.
dude, he was insane.
I'm not that young, so.
That picture with him and Tom Platz where he's doing the
Oh
side
yeah, the
tricep.
tricep picture
You
and
know,
the one of him doing the front double and the
yeah,
most nuts.
the one with Tom Platz where he's doing the tricep, the side tricep. He was only 22 years old,
Yeah, it's nuts.
and I tell him all the time, I'm like, you realize you were like not one in a million, one in a billion. Like nobody
Like,
has your genetics.
like
You know?
probably more than that. You got to think there's
Yeah,
15 guys in Olympia, and then there's what do we have? 8 billion people on the planet now.
yeah,
So like,
right.
so
And
one in
I'm
a few
like,
billion.
because there have been times where him and I have become pretty good friends. Have been times where like he's been like, "Did you see what I looked like when I was young?" I'm like, "Dude, you can't compare yourself. You
Yeah.
can't compare. You were destined to be a bodybuilder. That's it. I mean, he was winning bodybuilding shows at like at 14 or something
Look
crazy.
crazy as a teenager.
Yeah, insane, just insane.
Yeah, teenage me looked at that and I'm like, what the hell
Yeah,
am I doing?
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah. And
not realizing.
that's why I brought up your age because the reason why I brought up your age at the beginning was because I've been to two NPC shows. Now I know they were in Jersey. I'm obviously not going to other shows. I'm going to local ones. But it seems to me that the guys that are competing, the majority of guys that are competing and girls are over 30. Like they're not drawing a younger crowd. So it looks like the guys that are turning pro like yourself are over 30.
Yeah, it takes a while,
Yeah,
because so unless you're a genetic freak, it takes a while to build that level of tissue, you
absolutely.
know, and life still happens. Life doesn't care if you're a bodybuilder, it doesn't care how many meals you need to eat today.
Right.
You don't know if something financially happens, you change your job. You have to, there's so many things that have to be right to be able to do what a high level large bodybuilder does with the like you have to have the right job. My entire life, except for the military time, it was like I would quit a job and find a better job. Didn't care about the pay just so I can get my meals in. Like, where can I work that I can get my meals in? Like I made a lot less money than I could just because I was like, okay, like I'll not take a client from this time to this time, make sure I get a meal,
Right.
whatever it was. So there's a lot of things that have to be right in your life. And when people say, oh, I'll do anything to go pro. And I'm like, okay, well, like you don't even get your steps in, let alone like these top level pros are like have the right job, they're in the right place, they're with the right woman. There's so many things that have to line up for you to
That's
be
right.
at that level. It's not like just throwing a baseball where you just have to have the talent and some skills.
Yeah.
Not that that's not hard, obviously. It's
No,
incredibly
I
hard.
get it. I get it. But
But
you see, you're over 30, but you're still young enough where your future is bright and you have the right mindset. And it seems like you have a good head on your shoulders and you are headed in the right direction. And you're still going to be have the military as a career. And at the same time, it gives you this freedom to do what you love.
yes.
And that says a lot. It says a lot about yourself. It says a lot about your journey, and it says a lot about your dedication to the sport. Now you've seen Derek Lunsford in person,
Mhm.
and you've seen Nick. I'm sure you know who Nick Walker is, and Samson Dowda and Heidi Chopin. I don't know if you ever met these guys in person, but you've seen Derek Lunsford in person.
Yes.
Now, you at the beginning stages of your bodybuilding career, do you look at Derek and go, "Wow, I don't know if I could look like that," or do you look at Derek and go, "That's the goal. That's what I want to look like in a year or two, or three, whatever."
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to say yes, Derek. Biggest thing that popped out about Derek was like his back. I was like,
It's
wow, like,
insane.
yeah. And like people are talking about my back. I'm like, have you seen,
Yeah.
that guy? Like, um, someone's like, yeah, you should do a back double bicep next to him. I'm like, no, thanks, not right now.
Yeah, yeah, I'll pass. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm enjoying people giving me compliments right now. But yeah. So no, I look at him and I'm a fan of bodybuilding altogether. I don't care if you're 180 pounds and you look fantastic. I'm a fan of bodybuilding. I'm a fan of
Sure.
symmetry and everything. And I'm a fan of him and his physique, but I don't find anything impossible. Like
Okay.
I say, okay, like I see. I don't know if you ever listened to the interviews of Phil Heath where he would pick out body parts and draw them the way he wanted to, would pick out different things that he wanted to emulate about different pros. And I've always done the same.
Mm.
I'm like, oh, let me try this exercise and grow this. So yeah, I don't think anything's impossible at all.
Yeah, because me, I had the opposite reaction. I stopped competing when I am 49 now. I stopped competing at 37. And it got to the point where I looked at pros, I had met pros, and the one guy that I had met, God rest his soul, was John Meadows. I didn't meet him. I saw him at Team USA.
Seemed like a lovely guy.
Oh, the guy is just was just he would have been another Charles Glass or Psycho
I would have
Lewis.
loved to meet him.
Yeah. And I remember going to the Team USA when he won to turn pro. I remember looking at him. I was already 37. And I remember looking at him going, I'm never gonna look like that. Like I'm no matter what I do, I'm not gonna look like that. And it was just a reality check. And then I think there are some guys like yourself that look at like a guy like Derek and go, you don't say to yourself, I'm not gonna look like that. You say to yourself, no, that's the plan. That's the goal. But the difference between you and me is that's reality for you. Reality for me was I better really start looking into my future because this isn't happening for me. You
Well, I
know?
think I'm also a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
So I want to bring something up,
Go
a
ahead.
little story about the whole military thing. So I was already previously a pretty big bodybuilder. You know, I did the 2018 nationals. I had to make weight for that too. So I walked around like 265, 270 in the off season, still with abs, you know. And when I stopped bodybuilding, because of the person that I was with, I was like, you know what? I'm joining the military. And I was like, not only join the military, originally I was going to do the Marines and I wanted to do Marine recon. And I was like, and I thought about special forces and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, I don't know why, but like that attracted me. I was like, I want to be with like-minded individuals who train hard. I
Mm.
had no idea what I was getting myself into. I was getting ready for the Marines. Dom actually helped me diet down because I had to make 199 pounds from 265 or 270.
Really?
Anybody else would have been like, no, you're fucking crazy. But Dom was like, all right, let's go. So I ate like keto for a while and I started running and my block was zero point 0.4 miles. I ran halfway and I couldn't even make it around my block without my shins hurting. And I was
Right.
like, and I hadn't ran since high school. And I was like, now I'm 20, I was like 26 at the time.
Mhm.
And I was like, I started like tearing up. I'm like, what am I doing? This is crazy.
Right.
But then I just kind of took a breath and said, fuck it, let's go. And I kept going. And I gave myself shin splints and all that kind of stuff. Then it was like I made it around the block. Then I ran 1 mile. Then I ran two. Then eventually I was running 10 miles every single day. And I lost all the weight. I was lean. Ended up not being able to making the Marines because of tattoos, so which they've changed. But then I called up and I knew a Green Beret, and I was like, "What's that?" You know. And then I ended up talking to a recruiter and he's like, what's your runtime like? And, that they told me what the expectation was for special forces. So I'm like, I don't care. I want that contract. It's an 18 extra contract. You go into basic training, you do the 6 months of training, you go to airborne school, you go right to special force training. And I remember thinking like, I would watch all these videos. I'm like, I'm not that guy. Like I would have those doubts. I was like, nah, fuck it. Let's go. What's the worst case that happens? I don't make it. I'm still in the infantry.
Mm.
And I went from not being able to run. I also had to swim to do the Marines. I went from not being able to tread water to being able to tread water for over an hour. I did all the running. Yeah, I would just tread water with I had someone help me in the pool and I would just sit there treading water. First, I couldn't do it for longer than 90 seconds. I would start drowning. I was swimming. I would do triathlons in the YMCA. I would swim and I'd go on the stationary bike and I'd run. I was a nut job. And then eventually I was running a marathon every Monday. I did whatever I could to get there. So in other words, what I'm saying is like the whole thing about like you could do anything if you put your mind to it. You really can. You just have to be a fucking psycho to do it.
Right.
And I think I was just crazy enough that I wanted to do it, and I was able to get eventually. Like I was at the special forces training, I was able to run a 5 minute mile. I was, from not being able to run at all. I was finishing top of my SF class and everything. I eventually and I'm getting hurt. I didn't make it, but I finished that and I was like pretty damn proud of myself. I was like, I couldn't climb rope. Eventually, I was like one of the best guys at climbing rope. Like, you can literally do anything, but you have to like sacrifice everything and be crazy to do it.
Mm.
If someone saw me the way I looked in January after the surgery, and I also have some thyroid complications, anybody else would have said you're fucking nuts, except Dom knew how crazy I was. He's like, all right, yeah, let's go win the USA's in 6 months.
Mm.
So, I hope someone out there who's having doubts thinks maybe I can do it, you know?
Well, that is extremely admirable, and that's why, um, looking at your pictures last night, I was like, yeah, this guy's got potential. But now talking to you, you're going to be a good pro because if that's your mindset, you're going to be a good pro. And anybody out there who wants to sponsor you, if you're not sponsored already, should gamble on you. Because if you have that mentality, you have the mentality of a winner at any cost, then that sponsor is also going to win.
Appreciate it.
And I hope, because I've gained this amount of respect for you just from this conversation, I hope that your future is bright, which I'm not. I don't doubt that it will be. You will be successful, and you'll be a successful bodybuilder. So, and I think you're going to be a great dad and husband at the same time.
That
Um,
means a lot. Thank you very much.
well, you know, I'm surrounded by normal people, regular people, blue collar guys, white collar guys, so on and so forth. And most of the time I'm disappointed with these people, you know. But when I come across somebody like yourself, it reinstates uh a faith in humanity for me. And I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. This is truly how I feel. Because if you're able to put the work in and suffer, whether it is when you wanted to join the military or now be a bodybuilder and be a successful professional bodybuilder, when I see that mentality, there truly is. Let's put it this way. I don't think you're going to fail.
I,
Let's just be very
I don't
simple
leave that
about it.
option open, to be honest.
Right.
I
I don't think
don't
you're
want to sound
going.
cocky or anything, but like I just don't give myself a plan B. Never really have.
Right. I don't think you're going to fail. And I don't think I wish more people had your mindset. See, when I was bodybuilding, I started I've always loved weight training. I always loved bodybuilding. I always had a difficult time putting weight on. And the truth of the matter was I didn't want to suffer. I didn't want to do it. There was a point where I thought I was taking too many drugs and I didn't want to do it. But I transitioned from that to this. And this makes me want to do this continuously every night, all the time, nonstop. I refuse to fail at this.
That's good.
And
You're
you
doing
have
a good thing.
you have that mindset in life and in bodybuilding and in your military, and you have that mindset with your fiance and your future family. So I only see good things happening to you, Chris, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart, and I admire you, and I actually respect everything you're doing within the military, within bodybuilding, and I think you should be somebody that these young kids should look up to.
That means a lot. Thank you very much. And if there's something that I talked to my fiance about was she made like a joke. She's like, you're like an influencer now. I'm like, I'm not an influencer. I just want to set an example for my clients and for my buddies in the military and my friends and stuff. That's the best you can hope for. Just they just set a good example. You
Yeah.
know, that's all I
I think your wife is right. I don't think you're gonna have a choice. I think you're gonna be an influencer.
yeah, I just don't like that word, I guess,
I
So
know, I know. Tell me
just
about it.
like some of these people are pretty cheesy and fake, and
They're
it's just not
idiots.
something
They're
I am.
idiots.
Yeah,
Let's be true.
yeah.
I mean, look, Joey Swole showed his true colors. He just basically cowered to the masses, and it drove me crazy. It's
I
like
don't even know what happened. I've met Joey. He's always a nice guy when I met him.
super nice guy, super nice guy. Basically, real quickly, he did a tribute to Hulk Hogan.
Mhm.
His comments below. He has a tremendous following, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
He did a tribute to Hulk Hogan. I was a huge fan of Hulk Hogan as a kid growing up,
Yeah.
right? He had all these comments about that he was a racist and so on and so forth. And instead of ignoring the comments, he made he defended himself. He made a video defending himself on why he did it. And while he made
Wait,
this,
that Hulk Hogan was a racist?
yeah,
Huh.
yeah. Apparently he dropped the N bomb. I don't know all the details, but he had dropped the N bomb during a video that he didn't know was being videoed. Whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
He had apologized for it. Whatever. Then Joey Swole makes a video defending himself, but he said colored athletes, and then the woke media came after him. The woke culture came after him saying colored athletes.
Yeah.
Now, what's ridiculous is if he would have said athletes of color, it would have been fine.
Right.
So then he made an apology video apologizing for anybody he had offended. And it's like, dude, this is what they want. Don't you realize this is what they want?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he got even more shit because he cowered to this small group of people with
A
loud
loud
mouths.
minority.
And
Right.
yeah, exactly. And
Not
then he
the
said, I
vast majority
quit.
of people.
I'm not doing social media anymore. I quit. So he basically canceled himself. So that made me lose respect for him because it's like you don't owe anybody an explanation. The guy died. He was an inspiration. Should have left it at that.
Yeah.
Leave the people in the comments are always gonna have something terrible to say, no matter what. Just leave it alone. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I'm a goofball from Brooklyn with a fucking microphone now. You got to see the comments I get. I mean, I just ignore it. It's
Sure.
ridiculous.
I like the ones people like not impressed, don't like your physique. I'm like,
Oh, dude. I
not
mean,
impressed.
it's like,
I'm like,
really?
thanks.
Yeah, it's like, really, you don't like his
Not even
physique?
like not even a
Okay.
picture on the profile. And all right, this me and my girl, we laugh about this all the time. I've got scar tissue on my spine from squatting with heavy for years and years and years. If you
Yes,
squat heavy
yes.
with a barbell, high bar, you're gonna get scar tissue on your spine right there.
Agreed.
And people are like, what's that muscle? Some people are like, I want to grow that. I'm like, throw
That's
a
not,
squat bar.
not a
And they're like,
muscle.
what is that? I'm like, oh, it's my camel's hump. I store water there. I'm just joking, you know?
Yeah, right, right,
And
right.
then people are like, ew, gross. I don't want that. I'm like, it,
Yeah.
you just laugh about it. Yeah.
Yeah, you just
Listen,
have to ignore
you
it. You have
you can't make everyone happy. I never am going to expect to make everyone happy.
right.
You know, like, I don't know.
Um, now last question.
Sure.
What's the procedure for tomorrow's Friday? What's
Mhm.
the procedure for Friday into the competition on Saturday?
Um, so very similar to last show, we just been slowly filling out. I didn't have to starve to make weight.
Well, it's
We know each other
there's
so
no
well.
weight.
Like,
Yeah.
we know what to do. Um, yeah, we water's getting cut down a little bit right now.
Hmm.
We're gonna keep filling out, eating more and more food tomorrow, a little bit more carbohydrates. We keep protein really low. These aren't secrets, you know.
Yeah, right.
If you're a coach, you pretty much know these things. Um, One thing that we do different is I do train all the way up to the show lightly. You know, I like it. It gets me on my feet, moving around. I don't like sitting around being bored.
Yeah.
So go to the gym, get the tan, slowly cut water out even more tomorrow, and then let my body do its thing. It's been hardening up every day, and yeah, that's really it. We don't do anything crazy,
All right. All
you
right.
know.
Very good. Well,
So it's like I would tell you more, but like it's not really. There's nothing too secret. More carbs, less protein,
I
less
know.
water, and you look
I
great.
know. I know.
You
I know.
know,
People think that there is some kind of like, magical
Snickers
pill.
and liquor and all this kind of crap. I
Yeah.
will say this. One thing I like about Dom too, and as a coach myself, I don't do any crazy bullshit. You know, like we eat the same foods that I do in my prep. We don't do the burgers and the fries. We don't do cake and pancakes and all this bullshit. We just do, I'm eating chicken, beef, and rice, you know, and rice cakes.
That's it.
Some stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind
Nothing
of
crazy.
boring, but
It's
that's what.
fine.
Yeah,
Why
exactly.
risk it?
Yeah, exactly.
There's no reason to try to get 5% better and look 20% worse.
Right. 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 Exactly. Chris, first of all the love and respect in the world to you. I
Thank
wish you a lot of luck in Tampa. I expect great things from you in the future. Thank you for coming on, brother. I truly
thank you for
appreciate
having
you
me.
coming on. And once you're done with Tampa, I'll contact you again. We'll get you on Muscle Talk with the guys. That's more of a fun,
Sure.
lighthearted, shoot the shit kind of show, and it'll be a lot of fun, man. I
Would
appreciate you.
love to.
All right, brother. We'll be in touch. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, man. Thanks.
Later.